Welcome everyone to WordPress and Coffee. Well, yesterday I got a chance to play around with the Ultra theme a little more by Themify, and I have to say I really like it. Today I wanted to kind of show you what I'm doing. I'm working on a website, a redo for a website, and I decided to try creating a one-page website that scrolls to different sections and so forth and so on. It seems to be coming along really good. Like I said, this theme is really awesome, and the theme builder and everything like that is really great too. I really enjoy it. So let's get to our browser here. There we go. There's our browser. And what I want to do is I'm going to kind of show you exactly what I've been working on and how things going. So far the site looks like this right here. Let's go to the main site here. Okay, so here I have this is a full screen intro section, and has anchor tags here. These are anchor tags. So if I click on the boat, it'll scroll down to the boat part, and here on the left I have a description of their services, and on the right is a little bit more about the boat, which is called the long shot. And if you scroll on down to captain here, you can see it has a little bit of information about the captain, as well as I put in this map here and a link to their Facebook page. Now I am just putting this all together. This is not the final. I'm just really using this to play around with the Themify Themify Builder and getting everything, see how things work out for it. Let's see here. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard, and I'll kind of show you how I've been working with it. I was kind of playing around with the different ways to work with it. One way you can work with it is if you go back to the main site, you can simply click on this Themify Builder to turn it on, and turn it on here. And you can make your edits and everything like that, almost kind of like a live situation. Where you can just go in here and edit live, change things. It's all kind of a live thing. You can set the styling, export, import, if you want to export this stuff, copy it, paste, and so forth and so on. But you can also, and this is how I've been working on it. Rather than doing this, I'm closing out of the builder. This will get us back in the site here. I have been using it like this. So the first thing that I did was to create this one-page scrolling where you can, scroll to here, scroll to the next section, and whatever. How I set this up was, let's get in the dashboard and I'll show you. As you can see here, our pages, if you look at all of our pages, rather than have separate pages, I have basically one page, and it's all on one page. So this is what they call a one-page website design. I may be adding a little bit more pages, I'm not sure. But anyway, how I have it set up is if you can see here, I only have one home page. And what I wanted to do, or what I did to set this up, is if I went to Appearance and Customize, what I had to do was I had to set a static page. So the first thing I did was I created a page that was front page, and then I just left it blank, and then I came in and let's go into the site identity. Whoops. sorry. Let's go back into the static front page. Okay, so I just came in here and I set this static page, and then I selected the page, which was the home that I created, and then I saved it. So that's how I got the static page set up there. And then once I did that, I can go back and go back to the dashboard, and here I can edit direct. So pretty much this is the body here, but you really don't put anything in the body, or I haven't put anything in the body. Like, you don't want to put anything here because you're using the Themify Builder. So if you come down here, you can see the Themify custom panel, and this is where you can do all your editing and create the different sections and everything like that. So the first thing we have here is the page options, sidebar option. I chose to have no sidebar on this page, so there's nothing there. Let me go ahead and open up another tab with the actual site so I can kind of show you as I go along. But okay, so there's no sidebar, so we get no sidebar here at all. It's all basically full width page is how I have it set up there. And then the content width, I set that to full width because I want it to go completely across. So I have that set to full width here. Hide the page title. Yes, I wanted to hide it. Otherwise, it would say home at the front, at the top of it, just like any other page. If I wanted a custom menu, you can select a custom menu here. I don't have one selected. It's going to use the default one that's set up in the Themify Ultra settings. Builder scroll section, I have that set to no. And this says when it's enabled, each builder row will have full height and perform as full section scrolling on the page scrolling. Okay, so this pretty much here is like this here is section 1. I do have this set to full size. The boat, this one I have set to full size. The captain, and when I say full size, it's the full viewpoint. So it's going to be from here to here. It expands. The captain is not. This is a shorter one, and then I have this below it. So this one is not set to full height, where these two are the boat and the welcome page is set that way. So that's basically that. So if you're wanting to all of your sections, all your rows to be full size, so we have section, 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 you can enable that by just clicking it here and saying yes. So let's get on over here. I'm not going to worry about, let's see, the page appearance. This is just the basic settings for it, for the page, like how you want your top bar, header design, and I have it set to this, which is basically this right here. That's how it's set up. That's the header bar, and you can have it set where there's side ones and so forth and so on. Sticky header is going to be default. You can either set it to yes or no. I have it set to default, so that is going to refer to whatever set in the Themify settings over here. Header elements, let's see, I don't have anything showing at all. Let's see here. The theme default, everything is, this is basically, if it's blank, it's theme default. If it has an X, it's hiding it. And if it has a check mark, it's showing it. And I basically have this set to default. Everything's set to default there. I really didn't change anything because I'm just learning this theme, so I'm kind of learning as I go here. The header background type, transparent header, you can change it to different header types however you want. I really haven't played with them settings. I just left it alone. Like I said, I'm just learning here. Footer design, I don't have a footer design at all. No footer. If you want an image filter, you can set image filters for all your images or just the featured images only. And this is like if you want the images to have a filter on it where they're all grayscale, but then when you hover over them, you can have them turn, basically go back to color or whatever, or a different setting here, whatever you want to do. You can blur it. However, again, I haven't messed with them really. Query post, I'm not really worrying about that right now. query portfolios. That is something else I'm not really understand yet. Anyway, so this is the real thing right here. This is the theme builder. This is where you get down to the nitty gritty, and this is how I've been working it. Rather than working it on the front end, actual live, I've been working back here, so that way I can. This for some reason helps me learn. I just like this better. This the way this is generic looks and everything like that. So that way I can make my modifications, and then I can tab over to the site and do a refresh and see what changed and what didn't change, or how things was affected. So these gray box here, this is considered a row, and the rows you can divide up in dividers and do different sections. You have all of these different settings and stuff like that. So what you do in these up here, these purple, these are considered modules. So like this is a text module, you have a tab module, slider, service menu. You have all of these different modules that you can drag and drop in where you want them to go. I've only used a couple of modules. I haven't really played with all the modules. Like I said, I'm still learning this, so I'm just playing around with it right now. Anyway, so the first thing that I did here was I did a text module. And I kind of broke these up. So if you look on the front page here, this is these three modules here is I have the logo, that's one module, a text module, and then I have the located at, this is basically their address. I have that as a second module, and then the third module is the phone numbers. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to give this effect, so whenever I add like effects to it, they would be separate. So if you look now, I'll show you how it works. I'll do a refresh here. You can see how the logo fades in, and then these two fade down. So it's three different sections. And I'll show you exactly how I have them set up here. So let's double click on, this is the one that's the logo. So we go in here to edit it. It's basically the logo itself. That's all that's there. And then here's my styling I have set. I pretty much didn't set anything on this one at all. I did add a little bit of margin at the bottom of it because I wanted them to be a little bit spaced there. So what I did was on the animation is I have it set to fade in, so it just fades straight in, and there's a 1 second delay on it. I also was playing around with this parallax scrolling, so that way, if you can see here, if you kind of do like this, it kind of moves a little bit, moves up and down a little bit, kind of has that effect. That's what that is. And I had that set to 1 slow, so it just goes really slow. Like I can change this, for instance. Say let's make it really fast. See what happens. So I'm just going to do that. Save, and that saved it. But I have to come down here. You have to come down here and save the whole page before it actually takes effect. So then I save that. So now I can come over here, my other tab, and I can do a refresh, and you can see the how it changed. As you can see, that just disappeared. That's crazy. Wow. I guess the 10, it went way up there. I guess it's up at the top maybe. I'm not sure where that went to. Okay, so let's change that back. That's an experiment. So we're kind of learning how these things work. So if we go back to animation and let's change it to 3 and see what happens. It was set on 1 originally, and now I'm going to set it on 3 just to see if we can see a difference. Now I can refresh here. Okay, there it is. Okay, as you can see, it keeps moving it up a little bit when you do that. Huh. Alright, so I can move that back to 1. I'm just kind of playing around here trying to learn everything. Animation, let's change that back to 1 and save it. Okay, so that one's that one. Now we're back to normal. And then I had, as you can see, the address, which is the text right below that, which is, this text right here I have set. And so I pretty much set that in there as a text module, and then I have it aligned center and with the address and everything that needs to be on there. The styling I have set. I did change the styling here. I set the font color to white, and then I chose the font family, and here's the font family that I chose. And then if you scroll down, I have this, let's see, what else did I do? Okay, the one thing that I did want here, as you can see, I do have a drop shadow here. And how I did this drop shadow is, if you look in the text effects and the editing, there is no place for like text shadows or anything like that. They have a font family, a font color, font size, line height, text alignment, link. Here's your link color, your hover color, your text decoration, padding, margin, border, all that kind of stuff. But there is no text formatting. Even if you come here, I mean, you have bold, italic. So there is no like text shadows, and I wanted a text shadow on here. So how I did that was, if you scroll down here at the bottom, you can see additional CSS class, and I have it set to this DS01. And all I basically did is, what I did was I created a class, and then I assigned that class to this this little text module. So how I did that was I assigned it there, and then I created the task over here. If we go over here to Appearance and Customize, this is where we can add the additional CSS and stuff. If we want to add it, we can. So let's get over here and get logged in here. Now if you come down here, you can see this is the Themify options, and then you have the long. This is like the regular options for the regular website. This isn't necessarily with the theme. So if I wanted additional CSS, you could put it here, but I didn't put it there because I wanted to put it with the theme, and this is why I did that, or why I chose to put it there. I'm assuming you could put it here and it would work with no problem. But what I did was, let's go back to the Themify options here, and then if you scroll down here, you can see custom CSS. Well, you can expand this out, so you have a lot more area to play with. And all I did was I created a new class, and I put this right here. Let's see, I'm not sure if this has live update. Let's just see here. Like say we wanted to do the color, and then we wanted to do something like dark grayish. Now let's go something like that. So if I add that color and then I do this, so it doesn't really change anything yet, it looks like. Let's see what happens when I save and publish there. No, it didn't change it. So I guess the that's not, it's being overwritten. Okay, so the reason why this didn't work is because I have this assigned. Let's see here. Let's go back to, let's get out of here. Okay, so in my text field, I assigned it to the text module. I had assigned the color, so that's why that's not working. So if we come back to here, we double click here, as you can see on the styling here, I have it set to color. So that is not going to overwrite the color here. If I didn't assign anything here, for instance, I just got rid of all this here, and I saved it like that, and then I did a refresh here, it should change it to the dark gray, and it didn't. Okay, why didn't it do that? Not really sure. Maybe there's something else that I'm missing here. Maybe here it's set styling, overlay. Okay, so I guess obviously the reason why that's not working is it's not. It is not down to as detailed as it should be, to where it needs to be for the color changes. Anyway, this is live. Like I said, I'm not really worried about it. I can figure it out if I want to. It doesn't really matter because I got the color that I wanted it to be. It's just I was wanting to play around. So let's go back to appearance and customize. So we'll get rid of that class, or that change to the class that I made. So if we go custom CSS, blow this up, get rid of this because I'm not really interested in that no more. I just did this text shadow. Let's say, for instance, say we want to do this to 95. I think it does it live. Yeah, it does it live. So if I wanted to change the color here, let's go 255. This is going to look crazy, but let's just change it to white. See, it's changing it to yellow. And this will be white. So if I wanted to make it white, that would be white. Of course, you can't really read it, so that doesn't really matter. Let's change this back to black. Zero these out. There's blue, crazy looking blue. So as you can see, that's how that works. And then I just can save this if I want to save it. I think I had this set to 75. We'll set it to 80. That'll work. And just close it, and then I can save and publish. So that's kind of an idea on how you do that, that stuff. Now let's go back to our dashboard. And we're on the page, we're editing that page. And then after that I added on the boat, how I did this was, that's basically this section right here, the boat. And as you can see, it has a background blue that has kind of semi-transparent. And where I did that was I set that here. This is the boat. You look at the styles here. And another thing that I had as far as setting the anchor, right here you can set the anchor. So this is where you would set the anchor for the section. You just type it in there. And then in your menu, you just put a hashtag, and then, for example, the boat, our boat would be the hashtag for it, because that's how you set the anchor there. Anyway, my styling, I have it set here. I have a background color, and I just basically, you clicked on it here, and it brings this up, and you can set the color that you want here, and then you can drag this up and down for the transparency, and that's how I got that effect. And then I do have this set to here, row height. Okay, I do not have it set to full height, 100% view height. I just have it set to default, but because it just so happens to be the right size to make it work perfect, I guess. For some reason I thought I had set that, but I guess I didn't. Maybe there's another place you can set that, but I'm not sure. I don't think so. Oh, maybe it was one of these. Okay. So I had the row, that's all set, blah, blah, blah. And then if I do look at the text here, this is a module, the text, and I'm going to, let's look at the styling here and see what I have set here. Okay, I really don't have anything set on this for the column size. Nothing on that. But if I wanted to edit it, I could go in here and look at it here. Put in the, just, do any kind of editing or anything like there. It's really no big deal. here is where I set the font color. So that's what color, where I set the font color on there, and I set the font size, and you can kind of narrow down and down and down. If you want one little section to be a little different, this is how you would set that. I didn't change anything else on that. Like I said, I'm just kind of playing around with this and trying to learn it. I'll become more proficient in it rather quickly. I mean, the best way to learn something is just to jump into it and start messing with it. This is how I learn. This is how I've been self-taught web development, and that's basically how I learned. I just started playing with it, because you can. That's one thing about doing web development stuff. Pixels are free, and what you mean by that is you don't have to worry about anything. You can always start over. They're free. It's not like you're investing a lot of money into something, and then it's not like you're building a house or anything. You're learning from scratch. You wouldn't want to build a house using this method, because you're actually purchasing this material, you're cutting the material, you can't ever put the material back together, necessarily the way it came. So you wouldn't want to build a house that's the way. But web development, you can do that away, because pixels are free. So you can basically just jump into it, screw around, play with it, as long as you're not doing it on some production site, you'll be all right. And if you are doing it on a production site, if it really doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It just depends. So anyway, this is pretty much all the settings here. For instance, I wanted to show you something here, like this text here that we're editing. That's this text here, this module, this area, and this is the information. We look on the website, that's basically this right here. If you want to, like, here's your styling, you can set all your styling. It's basically the same stuff as the other stuff. But visibility, this visibility tab, this basically says, hey, do you want this to show on the desktop? Yes. Do you want it to show on the tablet size? Yes. Do you want to show it on the mobile size? And that's the different sizes for the viewpoint. Like a mobile has a certain size, a tablet has a certain size, and a desktop have a certain size. Anyway, so like if you wanted to hide this, like on the mobile, where it wasn't showing up on the mobile, you could just click that and it would hide it. That's just another thing to keep in mind. So if you have a section that you don't want to show on mobile, or you have multiple sections, like you have one row that you want to show on the desktop, and then you have a version of that row for the mobile, then you could basically set the one that you want for mobile to be hidden by the desktop and tablet, and the one that you want to show on the desktop, you would have that where it would show on the desktop and hidden on the mobile. And that's kind of a way you can kind of swap out sections or rows, as what they refer to them here as rows. That's pretty much how that works. But anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to show today. As you can see, I created a map here, and the map, all I did was I put in the address and everything like that. Now, I did have to get a Google key. It's basically a key. You just go to Google and you get your key and you copy it and you paste it for using the maps. That was something that I did have to do. I'm not going to really get into exactly how I did that. You can probably look that up easy enough. But anytime you use like Google Maps or anything like that, you have to get these keys to actually use them. So it's pretty straightforward. It's no big deal. You just log into your Google account, go for a key, what application are you using. I was using Maps, so I was able to generate a key real quick, and then I just copied and pasted it and set it into the settings on the Themify in the Themify settings. Over here, if we just go here and go to Themify settings, I can show you where I set it in here. And if you go down here to Google Maps, that's basically what I did. That's my key, which is no big deal to do. Pretty simple, pretty easy. you just basically go to Google, generate a key, and use it. And that way it helps track and everything like that. So you can see how many people click through Google. You can see all this stuff and how much it's being used and so forth and so on. That's just how that works. Facebook, like some of the Facebook stuff will work the same way, as well as Twitter, where you have to get these keys to actually integrate with their API and stuff. But anyway, that's pretty much all I had to do there. So if we go back to our pages here, and my home page, which I was messing with, and then so that's pretty much it. I did do this widget here. This is a this is for the social links I have set up. I'm using the select widget where you can put any kind of widget you want, and I'm just doing the social links, just playing with that and seeing how that works. But again, it pretty much is the same thing. This theme, you can do some really cool stuff, and you can quickly build something. If you need to build something on your website or a website, whether it's for a client or your own self, this is, like I said, this is pretty straightforward. Here's where down here, if you can see, you can create revisions. Like if I had this set up and I wanted to save this as a revision, I could basically go here and save it as a revision, and then I could always go back and kind of reload that revision if I wanted to. You can have multiple revisions and so forth and so on. It's like I said, it's pretty straightforward. I really like the way this theme works. I had no problem figuring it out so far. There are still some things that I want to play with, as far as like these different modules. I want to play with each and every one of these modules, and I may do that. I may kind of go over each module and do a video over that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I guess, if they're pretty straightforward, they're pretty straightforward. If not, then we may go over a little more in depth, like I did a little bit over the map here, where you have to set up the API key. Anyway, I believe that's all that I was wanting to talk about today. Let's see if we have any questions. I don't have any questions. Anyway, that's about all that I wanted to go over with today. So anyway, let me tell you a little bit about this channel. This is a live stream that happens Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you would like and subscribe to my channel, and I pretty much talk about WordPress, and it's pretty straightforward stuff. Look at different plugins, themes, just do different stuff, and it doesn't always have to be for WordPress. Just web development in general, coding. I like to talk about a little bit different things, kind of mix it up. But anyway, if you would tune in every day, or if you want to tune in every day, you can tune in every day. If not, that's great. Anyway, I believe that's all for today, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.